Today's devotion is called Gold Framed Sunglasses with Pearls. You're going to find out something fun about this. So today we're on day 169, June the 18th, if you're following along on the calendar. And today's morning rinse to read is Job 28 through 30. Today's featured verses include Job 28, 16 through 19. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, in precious onyx or sapphire. Gold or glass cannot equal it, nor can it be exchanged for articles of fine gold. Coral and crystal are not to be mentioned, and the acquisition of wisdom is above that of pearls. After writing the devotion a few days ago, titled 2020 Vision with Gold Framed Glasses, I decided to buy a pair of glasses with gold frames. And it's funny because sometimes tangible things will absolutely remind me of, messages or inspiration or whatever. So I decided to go out and to buy some gold framed sunglasses. And my mission is to wear them as this symbol, like I said, as some kind of signatory symbol to remind me to keep God's perspective in my life and to strive to come out as gold, no matter what the instances are, no matter what I go through, no matter the challenges that come my way, to always come forth as gold. So yesterday, when I was writing this devotion, the day before I came upon today's writings, I went shopping at our local Target and began the hunt through their large display of summer eyewear in hopes of finding that perfect pair that symbolized it. And I remember walking back and forth on the display, and I went back and forth on this display 3 times, touching and trying on and gazing at all the different styles that were available for me to purchase. And on that 3rd trip, there they were, these gold framed sunglasses. But these sunglasses, they were not just any gold framed sunglasses. They had Anita flair with these pearls that adorned on the outer rim, adding that perfect balance of bling, I would say. God knows me as I love pearls and I love bling. And it was like this added message from God that I was his queen. But his plans for these glasses did not end at the checkout counter. There was this purpose for these glasses for me in a very specific style that I fell in love with at first sight. So fast forward to the morning that I wrote today's devotion and I read today's morning rinse chapters and prepared to write this devotional entry. Mind you, I had just picked up these glasses and had just written, a few days back, the 2020 gold framed sunglasses vision devotion. And, it kept on me. And so I decided to go out and buy this. And then today's morning rinse is what happened. I read it and was getting ready to write the devotional entry. And Job was explaining to his friends how difficult it is to find wisdom and how acquiring it cannot even be compared to precious gems. Like acquiring wisdom is so valuable. It just cannot even be compared to all of those onyx and sapphire. And yes, you guessed it, even pearls. I had to smile at God because God used a pair of sunglasses to tell me what I would learn through trials and challenges, and yet it would be better and greater than pearls. And if I kept his sunglasses on, and air quoting that, if I kept those sunglasses on, it would continually be a reminder to keep his perspective of everything. So coupled with the 2020 vision devotion that I wrote a few days ago, if we keep God's perspective, we will come forth as gold in our character and have wisdom that cannot even be compared to precious gems, stones, or pearls. I want to repeat that sentence one more time. If we keep God's perspective, we will come forth as gold in our character because he's trying us. So if we keep his perspective through the challenges and through the trials and through all of it, if we keep God's perspective, we will come forth as gold in our character, and we will have wisdom that cannot even be compared to precious stones, gems, or pearls. I'm going to read the featured verse one more time, or the featured verses. Job 28:16-19. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, in precious onyx or sapphire. Gold or glass cannot equal it, nor can it be exchanged for articles of fine gold. Coral and crystal are not to be mentioned, and the acquisition of wisdom is above that of pearls. I want to acquire wisdom, do you? I want to have the character that comes forth as gold, with wisdom far above any gem. That's what I want for my life. Do we want to go through the trials that Job went through? No, we don't. But he was already refined, in my opinion. He was already there. He was just being an example to them and to us. We all want character that shines forth as gold. We want a golden character. And I want that, but I also want wisdom far above jewels and stones and pearls and gems and the whole bit. And I know that you do too. So today's challenge to dig deeper. I want you to swing by a store or search online somewhere. And I want you to buy something to remind you that gaining wisdom will be greater than pearls. And I want to show you my gold framed glasses. Buy something. It can be anything to remind you to keep God's perspective as you embrace the trials that you go through. Go out and buy something that reminds you that gaining wisdom will be greater than pearls. That's what I want you to do for your challenge today. Get something tangible that you can always remember that wisdom, having wisdom in your life. And wisdom is knowing what you need to do and doing it. We can have all the knowledge in the world. We can know. We can read the word. We can do all the things in our lives. We can have all of this knowledge and have all of the know-hows. But wisdom is not knowing. Wisdom is knowing and acting. So if we know to love our neighbor as ourselves, but we don't act on it, we're not having wisdom. We just have the knowledge. Wisdom is knowing and acting out what we need to do. And it's far greater than pearls and gems and stones, and our character will be as gold. So when you pull out your journal tonight, and when you are reflecting on this message, write down what you purchased today. Write down what it was that is going to remind you to have wisdom. Write it down, what it meant for you to purchase that, why you purchased that thing. And if you have to go to the store and just walk around the store and talk to God while you're walking around the store, or maybe you're going to go to a thrift store and walk around, just spend an hour just walking around the store. Or maybe there's something that I said in this devotion today that inspired you, that said, oh my goodness, that is so great. I'm going to get that. But I've had these, by the time I released my devotional and have been recording this podcast, I've had these glasses for several years now. And they're a little wrinkly. They're not straight. They're not perfect anymore. They've been banged up, but I love that when I pull them out, I remember I need to have God's perspective of everything that goes on in my life. But not only that, I want to, when I have God's perspective, I will get wisdom because I will act on that. And wisdom is far greater than gems and pearls. And that's the reason why I bought these cheap old Target sunglasses. And so I'm hoping that you can be inspired as well. and that you have the ability to go and get something that will remind you to always have God's perspective and to seek out that wisdom. The inspiration of these glasses are so fantastic. I love them. I love them. I love them. So, as you are going throughout your day, I look forward to hearing, what did you purchase? I want to see pictures. I want to hear stories, like why you purchased that thing. I look forward to hearing it. And come on the Facebook group, Rinse, Reflect, Repeat, and share what you got. And I know that it would encourage other people as well. So until tomorrow, keep rinsing, reflecting, and repeating. God bless you.